What's up guys, it's TheGearChange here back with another video, and in this video I am finally in my spare room. I've got the little XR4 Fiesta in here. It's been quite a journey and quite a lot of work trying to get this room organized and set up exactly the way I want. It is still not 100% exactly where I need it to be. There's still a little bit of a tidy up to do, but I'm pretty happy with my progress. Over the past month, 2 months, I've managed to get the LED hexagon lights up. I finished the tiling the other day. I've got new curtains in to sort of block out the light from the outside and sort of keep the room cool as it does get quite hot in summer. I got the TV mounted behind me, as you can see, and I've got a soundbar mount that I've got to put up as well. Got a fridge, which is pretty cool, and an old microwave if I ever need food. But yeah, the main thing is that the car is in here. I've also managed to get myself a quick jack system from Genesis Equipment based in Yatala. Jonathan was kind enough to give me a discount and hook me up with one of their systems, so that'll be in use in here quite soon. I have to get it set up this weekend hopefully and have it for the car. But anyway, let's get to the video. Today I'm going to be installing some custom carbon fiber from Red 5 Carbon Fiber. Now I've got a gear knob cap and a steering wheel insert. I looked at getting a steering wheel that was custom made for the Fiesta, but pretty much no luck. They're not really a thing, and if they are, they're pretty expensive for me here in Australia. So I went with some custom carbon fiber. So I'll show you the car and a bit of the room, and then I'll show you the parts that I've got. Apologies again if I am looking a little bit tired. It is a little bit late here on a Friday night, but I wanted to get this video done just because, you know, the car's inside and it looks pretty awesome, and I've got the parts and everything that I need. But yeah, here is the modular floor tiling. Again, not super organized, but I've got basically a blue stage sort of area here for either the Fiesta, Focus, or future builds. You can see my quick jack there to the side and some mess over there, but the car is in the room. I've got the really awesome hexagon LEDs that I had my parents help me sort of set up. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so I've got the tiling going all the way around the car, and it's just big enough for this car and the XR5 to pretty much fit in the room and, you know, for me to use it. And ideally I'm going to have a tool chest over here as well instead of the old cabinet, so I can sort of work directly with the car in front and set the camera up where I need it when I'm filming and installing mods and parts and stuff like that. But I'll show you guys what I've got. So I have a custom steering wheel insert with the letter XR4. Looks pretty cool. So it's carbon fiber and it's like a nice blue color. And then I have a matching gear knob cap, which is also pretty awesome. So I believe from what I spoke to the seller, he said that I need to use Tiger Seal, which is a little bit tricky to get here in Australia, so I've just gone for basically an alternative, which is Sikaflex 227. So it's a premium car body sealant. Basically it has the same properties. It's mostly just for, yeah, curing, no real odor, and it should just seal, and it takes about 24 hours to sort of bond. So first step will be to disconnect the battery, so we'll do that, and then once that's done I'll probably wait 40 minutes, maybe an hour, before I have to take the airbag off because of where the plastic sits underneath, and then we will, yeah, get on with the install for the steering wheel and the gear knob cap. The gear knob cap should be a bit easier. I should pretty much just be able to pry it up with a flat blade and it should just pop off carefully. I don't want to snap the original one or break it, but it does feel a little bit loose already, so hopefully it's not too bad. Alright, so let's pop the bonnet. Just unlock the car, reach down here. Skip past. Bonnet prop in, and then we will disconnect the battery. So I've just got my little Tool Pro ratchet, as you guys can see. And we'll just disconnect these 2 bolts. Tuck that over there. Right, so I'll now leave that for about 40 minutes to an hour, and then I'll come back and we will disengage the steering wheel, get the airbag out, and then we can put the 2 new bits of carbon fibre in the car. So, I'm in the Fiesta now. Obviously, I'm just going to wait for the steering wheel, airbag sort of thing to decharge, but I thought, why not have a crack at the gear knob cap while I'm in here. So I've got a bit of green masking tape to hold on the new cap, obviously the Sikaflex, and then the replacement XR4 cap that's meant to go in here. So again, never taken one of these off, so I really don't know how on earth I'm meant to sort of get it off. It does feel semi-loose, so I'm not sure if it's just a matter of prying it with a flat blade like this, or what the deal is. Sort of feels like it wants to almost clip out, so yeah, I'm not too sure. Definitely feels fairly loose. Again, I'm not 100% sure on how it's meant to come off. Oh, there we go. Feels like something's coming. Again, I don't want to break anything, but alright. Sorry for the camera moving. So there is the original cap. Now, I don't know if this is meant to just sort of sit in here as is, or if it's meant to go on this piece here that obviously clips in. I'm not 100% sure. I assume it's meant to go on the back of this, but I'm not sure if this silver cap will come off. So I'll have a bit of a play around and I'll see what the best option is. Obviously this isn't just going to sort of sit in here without any sort of adhesion. It'd be great if it did, but oh yeah, see, I don't want to damage any of the leather around it any more than I've just done there accidentally, because it's a pretty good gear knob for its age in terms of like the leather and everything, so I don't want to damage anything. But yeah, I'll have a little look at this and see if this will sort of come into 2 parts, and if it does, hopefully I can just add the Sikaflex on top of this black clip and then add that like that and then pop it in. So I'll have a bit of a play around and we'll see how we go. After a little bit of playing around, I managed to separate the gear knob cap from the sort of little ABS plastic insert. So from the looks of things, all I added was a little dab of glue, which is probably why it was pretty flimsy or sort of loose from the get-go. But I will be hanging on to this. I don't want to get rid of the original or factory part, but I've now separated the two. So this is basically the little, I guess, ABS insert that sort of sits in here, and then my carbon fiber one is meant to basically sit over the top of it, sort of like this, I believe. So it might take a bit of lining it up so it's exactly where it needs to be. I don't want it to be sort of crooked or inaccurate, but it might be better to actually leave this sort of black plastic insert in here and then put the Sikaflex on and then line this up over top and then tape it. I'll see how I go. I might try and push this in now and then we'll see what it looks like on top. It's just a bit tricky with the leather either side. So I don't really, again, I don't want to sort of damage anything. It sort of tucks in there but then doesn't want to tuck in on the other side. So yeah, I might see if I can get it lined up, and then if I can figure out the orientation of it and how it's meant to sit sort of semi-perfectly, then I'll pull it off and I'll show you guys how much of this I'll actually apply to it. So I'll have a quick look now. Alright, so here is the gear knob cap here. It's come a little bit loose on the left side, unfortunately, which hopefully might come sort of back if I seal it with a bit of this Sikaflex. If not, I might have to sort of use some tape or some glue again, it's a nearly 20-year-old car, so you can't expect it to be perfect. But got the Sikaflex here, and I've got the cap, so I'm thinking I might apply it to the cap directly and then sort of line it up and push it on. I don't want to add too much, otherwise it'll sort of ooze out from the side. So if that does happen, I might have to cut and go get like some wipes or something, or some sort of alcoholic based cleaner, just because I don't want it to sort of stain. But yeah, we'll have a crack now putting some of this on. So again, not sure how much is in here or how much is sort of gonna come out. I sort of just chopped off the top of the Sikaflex tube, so don't know, we might just try to do like a little zigzag or something along those lines. Maybe add a bit to the back here and a bit to the sides. Again, don't want to add too much, but I want to add enough where it won't sort of come loose. So that's the amount I've got there currently, so I will set that down, and then I guess we'll just have to sort of line it up as best as we can and hope it doesn't ooze out or anything. So I'll try and tuck this down like I did before and just sort of line it up where it needs to go. As I said, it might be a bit tricky to sort of get it to want to stick where it needs to, which is sort of here. Might have to add a bit more to the very bottom here, just because it is sitting a bit funny. There we go. Sort of just doing it off camera. But we should be able to sort of line this cap up now and just sort of press it up and on where it needs to go, which is here. So as I said, this bit here is sort of sitting out, so I might have to sort of glue that or tape that to the carbon fiber. But what I'm going to do now is get some tape real quick, tape this up and around so it doesn't move, and then yeah, hopefully just let it set overnight, and hopefully in the morning there isn't any movement. If there is, I'll just have to add a bit more Sikaflex, or the alternative is using double-sided tape. But hopefully this should be strong enough, as it's used to do bonding and car sealing and stuff like that. So I'll cut here, do a bit of taping, and then we'll move on to the steering wheel. Okay, so the gear knob is taped up. Ignore my feet, but she's all taped up. I've leveled it where it needs to be. It's got enough Sikaflex on there. I've put it on the cap and on the actual sort of insert itself, so it should seal. Again, should take about 24 hours to set, so hopefully there's no issues in a day or so. Again, if so, I'll just play around and get it sorted. Now, onto the steering wheel. Now, unfortunately, because of where this is sitting, it sits just under the airbag lip, so you have to put your car keys in and sort of do like 2 turns to sort of put it into, I guess, some sort of unlock mode, and then you're able to turn your steering wheel. So, pretty hard to turn them. Yeah. But once it's about that much, maybe a little bit more, we should be able to gain access to the airbag holes, which are behind here somewhere from what I have seen. So can't seem to feel them though, which is a bit odd. Maybe they're on the underside, who knows. I'll have a little look and a little play around, and I'll see if I can I can see them just there. I might have to turn the wheel a bit more to that side, sort of like that, because I can see him hiding there. Or actually, I might need to loosen this plastic bit here. that might be what it is. There we go. Let's take that up and out. Should have access to it now. Yes. There's one of the holes there, and there's another one down below. So again, I'm not taking the whole wheel off or anything. I'm just disconnecting the airbag. It's been just about an hour now, so I'll see if I can get like a little Phillips head or something like that to push the release clips. And then once that is out, sorry, we can have a crack at getting this one off and putting the carbon fiber one on. Airbag is out of the car. Similar to the XR5, you pretty much have to stick a screwdriver into these holes up the top and then push down and it will unclip each side. So I did the top left and top right. Just realized I pointed to the wrong ones. And then gave the sort of steering wheel a bit of a wiggle and then pulled it towards me, which is a little bit sketchy. Not a huge fan of playing around with airbags, but yeah, it's just sort of sitting over there by itself now in the corner. But yes, so here is the factory plastic piece. It's sort of covered in a bit of dirt and grime and whatnot. So again, I don't know if I'll just use a flat blade to sort of pry it off. Don't want to sort of break it. I'd like to keep everything original. But yeah, I'll go grab my big flat blade and we'll try and pry this off. It appears that just like the gear knob cap, this sort of has just little pin inserts. So that is now off and out of the car. So I'll put that to a side. And here's the carbon fiber one. So again, probably gonna have to mostly put the Sikaflex here. Might give it a bit of a clean. It's not really gonna stick to anything around the leather there, unfortunately. I thought this was gonna be more of a flat surface. But again, it's not the end of the world. This will probably just sit there like that, pretty much. Oh, I don't know how sort of sunken in it goes. Probably, as long as the sort of base of it here is nice and flat, it should be fine. So probably something like that. That's the end goal, or something like that. Yeah, so I'll have to make sure it's obviously sticking at the back there before I put the Sikaflex on, but we will load up the Sikaflex now and we will try and stick it on and make sure it's sort of level and even, and then I'll have to give it the masking tape treatment like that. And we will come back tomorrow once I have completed that in a day, and fingers crossed both of them are nice and snug and nice and tight, and if so, I can put the airbag back on and take the tape off that, and it should be ready and raring to go. Ignore the mess over there, but the new steering wheel insert is installed. Didn't add a heck of a lot of Sikaflex, but I added just enough. I didn't want it sort of oozing out the sides here. You can sort of see a glimmer of the carbon on either side, but I've pretty much leveled it up and made it in line with where the sort of original silver one is. Again, it was flexing and moving a bit like the gear knob one, probably because they're not a factory part, but you know, they're a replica, so the fitment might be a little bit tricky, but all in all, wasn't too hard to do. Again, I've just sort of taped it up so it's got pressure and will sort of hold and stay in the position that I want it to. So yeah, that's sitting where it needs to, and so is the gear knob. So we will come back in about 24 hours time, so 8:30, 9 o'clock tomorrow. If the car is either in here, it might be outside, as I've got a few things to install on the XR5, and fingers crossed, yeah, it's all sealed up and no problems at all. We'll put the airbag back on and then we'll have a bit of carbon for the interior, which will do it up a little bit nicer than what it currently looks like. I've got a few bits and pieces for the air vent rings, and I'm looking at maybe doing a bit of a cluster mod as well and changing the cluster to blue to sort of match the focus and just, I don't know, give it a bit of a different vibe rather than green with all the switches and everything. So been looking into that, so if anyone's got any tips on how to do that, please let me know in the comments. It is the very next morning. I managed to take the tape off both pieces. So there is the steering wheel piece, which looks really, really awesome. And then there is the gear knob piece. Now, as I did mention when I was doing it, the fitment isn't sort of 100%. I think I need to sort of adjust it a little bit. So I'm going to look at getting maybe some Loctite gel or something similar just to put underneath here so it doesn't move. It's pretty steady, like it doesn't move much, but there is a little bit of movement. So once I've backed the car out of here and it's outside, I'll head off to Bunnings and just get some of that, and also put some on the side for the leather that sort of came apart, unfortunately. Again, the car's nearly 20 years old. From what I've seen, most of the gear knobs in these, the factory ones, have pretty much been ripped out. I just wanted to keep it OEM plus, so that's why I went for the carbon sort of insert here and here, because I couldn't find a aftermarket steering wheel. But I will get the steering wheel back in the car, tidy all this up, we'll back it out and we'll have a look at it outside in the sun, and then that'll be the video. So there you have it. There is the carbon fiber for the interior. Really happy with it. I like the little XR4 in the carbon here. Again, it's probably a bit hard to see, sort of blending in with the leather and whatnot, but all in all, I'm happy with it. Gives it a little bit of a refresh. As I said, I sort of want to change these little air conditioning vents and attempt the cluster mod and a few other little bits and pieces on the car, so little bits at a time. I've got the floor mats and some other little blue accents, so I'm getting there slowly but surely. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I have plenty of XR4 ST150 content on the way, and soon some really awesome installs on the Focus. As you would have seen, I've got the quick jacks, so I'm aiming to set them up today, tomorrow, and pretty much use that so I can work on the cars with ease and get some really cool parts in. I won't give too much away, but a company has kindly sent me some parts for the Focus to install in regards to suspension, so pretty exciting. I'm really thankful for them to do that. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, again, be sure to like and subscribe. I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.